Hey, Egg Teacher Thoughts here, coming at you with another video. Well, we have a little bit of an emergency in the greenhouse. The door to the greenhouse has been open for quite a while. We've brought all of those plants in, and all of our predators that usually help keep our aphid population down have died or gone dormant. So we have aphids that have run amok in our greenhouse, and I sprayed a few weeks ago, which should have taken care of my aphid problem. But I believe I have a acephate resistant strain of aphids in my greenhouse now, because that's what I sprayed was acephate, which is a great chemical to get rid of sucking insects, so like thrips and whitefly and aphids. And you know, just because of genetics and the way that chemical resistance works, it's time to rotate things and change it up. So I've got a new chemical that we're going to try, and we're going to start doing a rotation on that. I've got one plant that I'm going to test it with. It's outside, because you're not supposed to spray this in enclosed spaces without the proper PPE, which would be like respirator, full suit, gloves, safety goggles. We're going to spray this outside. It is in a homeowner concentration, and it's also a systemic, so it will go into the plant itself. I've got a plant out here. We got a little bit of a breeze. I'm going to stay upwind of it and do have some gloves in case there's any drippings. But let me go ahead and grab that chemical. We'll do a little bit of talking about it, and then we'll apply it. And this is really going to be our test plant. You know, does this actually work for what we intend it to? And we're going to use the mother plant because it's struggling right now. So what we're going to use today, we're going to try this out for the first time, is Rose and Flower Insect Killer by BioAdvanced. This is rainproof within an hour. It says it kills insects on contact and then protects for 30 days. So if it protects for 30 days, it means it has some sort of systemic that gets into the plant, so that chemical goes inside the plant and then the insects suck that out through the stems. This is where you find the safety data sheet. It's always on the back side. I have read through this. It is going to work for what we're going to do, and it is a homeowner concentration, so no licensing is required. Let's go ahead and take a look at our plant. So this is our firefly. One of the things that you'll notice is the blossoms have begun to wilt. And from my experience, this is like stage one in a firefly petunia just suddenly collapsing and dying. You can see on these blossoms here that there are aphids present on the blossoms. I mean, look at the size of that population. It is huge. We've got flying aphids, we've got pregnant females, we've got babies, and they're just absolutely overwhelming this plant. And if you've seen some of my videos, this has looked beautiful for so long, and now we have this aphid infestation that's absolutely killing it. So what we're going to do is we're going to go ahead and do an application. We're going to leave this outside. We're going to drag it back into the shade so that it doesn't get any chemical burn. Like, here's another aphid here. That's a female large enough, and there's a couple of her offspring right there. But she's large enough to have babies, and those are probably her babies themselves. So we're going to go ahead and spray this, and I'll have it put back in the greenhouse later, and we'll take a look at it tonight and see if we have a good kill or not. If it works really well, I'll go get a couple more bottles because it may require that to treat. But yeah, this is, if you have firefly petunias, there's plenty of water, and you start to see it wilt like this, that means you have an aphid infestation, and it's going to kill your plant if you don't do something about it. Okay, so let's get you set up so you can see this spraying process. So as always with any chemical, make sure you are applying it according to the safety data sheet that you've read. And with this, we're going to go through and wet the leaves. We're going to do a thorough wetting. I'm watching where the mist goes so I don't get it on me. I've overlapped, and then I'm going to get the top. Okay, so the application of insecticide is done. We'll come in tonight and we'll take a look and see what the kill rate is and whether or not they have started to die yet. I did make sure that I did water the plant, so it did receive some water underneath the foliage because you don't want to have wet foliage when you spray. So that was underneath the plant. I'm going to go in and change my clothes and wash real good to make sure that I don't have any of that insecticide on me. One of the reasons I drug that plant back into the shade is a lot of insecticides. If you've got live blossoms and you spray in bright sunlight, that can actually burn your blossoms or burn the foliage of the plant. So I've taken that into the shade in the hopes that it's going to dry. And then once it's fully dry, which should take about an hour or so, then it can be taken back inside the greenhouse. The other reason we didn't spray in there is I do have fish tanks in there. So our tanks that are in there underneath the benches, I didn't want to get any of that drift down into those planters. So if I do see that it's a good kill and I decide to spray again, I will make sure that those are completely covered, that no spray can get down in there, and just kind of take some precautions that way. But anyway, I hope you are interested in this, especially if you're a firefly petunia grower. We're gonna find something that works for those aphids that's safe for you to apply. Something that's especially fast acting, which is key at this point. You know, our aphids are taking a toll on our firefly, and usually by the time I see this wilt go on, if I don't kill them immediately, within a week my firefly petunia would be completely dead. So we're going to hope that that doesn't happen. Luckily, I have a lot of stock plants. It just means we would lose the mother plant. That's really where the massive infestation is. But I've seen aphids all through the house, all through the greenhouse. But yeah, I mean, I didn't really stand a chance. We have aphids that fly around here in the fall, and they just naturally go into the greenhouse, and when they go in, they can either do live birth or they can do eggs. But either way, we're going to be struggling with this all winter long, so it's good for us to be on a rotation of chemicals to be able to take care of that. As far as biocontrols, I know some of you are going to say, hey, why don't you use diatomaceous earth or, you know, some other naturals? We need this to work quick because otherwise we're going to lose that plant. But anyway, this is not an official endorsement or recommendation on chemicals. We're going to go through and we're going to try several of them through the coming months as the greenhouse season goes on. And we'll find what works best for small growing greenhouses. So it's going to be up to you to make that decision, and also to read the safety data sheets on the chemicals to find one that you yourself are comfortable with. This is an over-the-counter, so it should be fairly safe, and first time using it. So we'll see how good the kill is on that. But anyway, I hope you're learning something. I hope you're invested. I hope you're enjoying, and I hope you subscribe. Ag Teacher Thoughts, out.